a third course about the whole HCIA security. Okay, so and today we're going to talk about the first one. We need to know the Huawei firewall, the USG, its basic technologies, and then we will talk about the NAT technology. That means the network address translation technology. Okay, and then we will do the practice, do the lab. Okay. So our first part is also need to learn some lectures, and then we need to do the practice. Okay. First about the Huawei firewall. So what's the firewall? Okay, this is forward. And during the data communication, insecure factors may cause information leakage, incomplete information, unavailable information, etc. Therefore, firewalls are required during the network deployment. This course introduces the history, the features, typical networking modes, the application scenarios, and the technical specification of Huawei firewalls. Okay, we need to know. Okay, the objectives of today's course is we need to know the what is the firewalls. You need to grasp or you need to master the how to configure the firewall security policy. Also, security policy in the firewall is very important part. Okay, and so how when you do the configuration, so what's the how to use it into our command. So what the command is. Okay, so this is content. Okay, let's check it one by one. The first is firewall overview. Okay, so why we need firewall? Okay, this is why we need firewall. First of all, firewall is a logical area filter. Okay, maybe in this part, okay, you can see that this is intranet, and we have the router in our network. Okay, and this is the internet part. If internet user wants to access our intranet, so the firewall becomes to do the separate to the logical area. Okay, and then the next is hitting the intranet structure. Okay, if we don't have the firewall in our network, a PC or a hacker wants to know the whole topology of our intranet structure, it's very easy. But when we implement the firewall, it can hide in the intranet structure. Okay, and also firewall is for security. So the third part is very easy to understand for security assurance. Okay, easy to understand. And the next is proactive defense against attacks. Okay, proactive against attacks, because firewalls support many things, not only to for the just security. It just also support many other other things. Okay, so this is a firewall features. Okay, for things. And the next is the classification. Okay, this comes to our, you can see that this is also the deployment, development. Okay, development. Or development. Also, you can see that it is, or you can see it as the origin of firewall. Okay, so the first firewall is packet filtering. That is very old firewalls, and the packet filtering have many disadvantages. Okay, we'll talk about later. And then the proxy firewalls is more automatically than the packet filtering firewalls, but it also have some disadvantages. And now we call it the stateful inspection firewalls. Okay, now our firewall, for example, our USG 6000, USG 9000. Okay, all of these firewalls we call it the stateful inspection firewalls. Okay, so so the packet filtering firewall. So what's the disadvantages? So why we need to have to update these firewalls software update is functions. This comes to the steps that firewall packet filtering firewalls works. Okay, the first, if if it's a PC, okay, wants to communicate with our server, okay, there was we know about the TCP IP, okay, 7-layer stack, okay, it will to do the encapsulation and it will to do the decapsulation, okay. So the about the disadvantages of the packet filtering firewalls, you can see that it's firstly it's unable to associate with data packets. Okay, unable to associate. This is the first disadvantages. Okay, and second one is to unable to adapt to the multiple channel protocols. So what is multiple channel? For example, the FTP. Okay, FTP. In FTP, we talked about that. So we have the 20 and 21 port. Okay, multi-channel. Okay, multi-channel. So this is an example of multi-channel. Okay, and the third is for not checked application layer for data generate. Okay, so because that's for the packet filtering firewalls, it's just to do the filtering by IP address. Okay, by IP address. For example, if the destination is 10.1.1.1. So if you do the packet filtering, if the destination is 10.1.1.1, you will to let it pass. And if it's not, destination is not 10.1.1.1, it won't let it pass. Okay, so this is just a packet filtering. It just to filter it by the depends on the IP address, so like this. Okay. So this is a packet filtering firewall. So it cannot check the application layer data generated. Okay. So this is three disadvantages. Okay. And then we come to our proxy firewalls. Our proxy firewalls, this is whole process that how the internet PC to access our intranet server. Okay, intranet server. So as the advantage of this firewall is that because the firewall is do a proxy. Okay, just do a proxy. So that if the internet PC wants to attack our internet server, it's not much easily because firstly internet PC wants to get a permission of firewall. If the firewall seems that is a legal PC, it will let it to communicate with internet server. So this is the advantages, but it also have some disadvantages. Firstly, is slow processing. Okay, so why it has slow processing? Because firstly, internet PC. So if we don't have proxy firewall, okay, if we don't have proxy firewall, the internet PC can establish with internet server directly. Yes, but if we have the proxy firewalls, firstly, the internet PC need to communicate with proxy firewall, and the proxy firewall needs to communicate with internet server, and then the PC can communicate with internet server. So this becomes the slow processing. Okay, slow processing, and it also difficult to upgrades. Okay, difficult upgrades because proxy firewalls in our network, if we need to upgrade it, we need to associate with the whole network topology. Okay, so this is the disadvantages about the proxy firewall. Okay, proxy firewall. Okay, and there comes our today's firewall. We call it the stateful inspection firewalls. Okay, inspect firewall. So the advantages is that it solves the disadvantages about, or the weaknesses about the packet filtering firewalls. Okay, it has a faster processing. Okay, so this is the if there was a packet comes to if the host A, okay, host A is 10.0.0.1, okay, and server is 20.0.0.1. If server A, okay, host A want to communicate with server, when the first packet when the first packet pass the firewall and the subsequent packets don't check, okay, won't be checked. Okay, that means that faster processing of subsequent packets. Okay, just do the once check. Okay, if the first packet it passed to the servers and and the subsequent packets were to just to match the. And later we will talk about there was a concept called the sanction table. Okay, if they match the sanction table, it will just do the processing. Okay, just do the processing. Okay. And for the also okay, because we update the firewalls day and day, so the high security, okay, high security in our stateful inspection firewalls is more than the last two one. Okay, the last two one. So this is a stateful inspection firewall. Okay. And for the firewall networking modes, okay, networking modes, there are two modes. The first is the mode one is just like not do the security. It's just like a router. Okay, do the routing. And second one is to the layer three is where do the between the intranet and internet. Okay, is to do the security check. Okay, this is two ways of firewall networking. Okay, implement. Okay, so the packet filtering technology. Okay, so because the last 2 days I received your email that your lectures you have okay also okay preview the lectures and think that you need more practice about the courses. So this lectures if it's not you want if it's so simple one, so I'll just give lead you to get a glance of these lectures. Okay, so about the packet filtering technologies. Okay, and we call it the access control list. Okay, access control list. That means that we depend on the IP address. I just give you example. Give you IP address. Okay, if the source IP address, destination IP address to do the filtering. Okay, so this is packet filtering technology. Okay, packet filtering technology. Okay, and next, this is very important. We call it the firewall security policy. Okay, firewall security policy, and this is the definition. Okay, security policies control traffic forwarding according to the specified rules and apply integrated content security detection to traffic. The rules focus on the packet filtering. Okay, the security policies of the firewall is different from the ACL. ACL, just we talk about it, is access control. Okay, the security policies in firewall includes many more things. And later with the zone, okay, the zone, the service, or the any other things. Okay, so the security policies control network communications through the firewall and control access to the firewall. Okay. Okay, this is the policy. Okay, this is the policy. And there was when a package when a data flow comes to our firewalls, how do the security policies do? So what's the mechanism of a security policy? Okay, so first, if the incoming data flow passes through the firewalls, okay, and second one, the firewall will search the matching security policy. If you are a network engineer, you can to configure many policies. Okay, policy 0, policy 1, policy 2. Okay, you can configure many policies, and when the data flow comes to your firewall, it will match it one by one. Okay, it will determine whether it's allowed to do the next operation. Okay, if the firewall process of the data packet according to the rules defined in the security. Okay, and then okay, the function of the firewall security policies is just also okay, also to do the filtering, or you can understand it as do the okay to protect our internal network topology. Okay. Okay, this is the firewall interzone forwarding. Okay, interzone forwarding. There was a policy. The policy is like this. If the policy 0 is packet from this one, 192.168.168.0. Okay, and to deny the package from 192.168.100.0. Okay, and it's worth mentioning that this is very important. Okay, this is very important. The default if okay if all the security policies are not matched, it will match the default security policy. Okay, the default security policy is action is denied. Okay, the action is denied. I mean that if okay, so repeat it again. So if all the security policy don't match the net flow, okay, don't match the net flow, it will match the default policy. Okay, this is not this is by default. You don't need to configure it. This is by default. Okay, the default security policies action is denied. Okay, action is denied. So this is very important one. Okay, the very important one. Okay, okay, this is whole whole process that we just have a look. Okay, so if there comes a concept called extension. Okay, called extension. We're talking about I just talk about the extension table as extension table. If a packet, okay, if a packet comes to if a packet or if a data flow comes to our firewalls, it will to queries the extension table. Okay, queries the extension table. And later I will show you what is extension table. How does it like? Okay. So when it queries extension table, is the extension table matched? If the extension table matched, there was two actions. Okay, if it matches, it will do this way. Okay, it will do this way. If it is not matched, it will do this way. Okay, it will do this way. Okay, so let's just have a glance. Okay, to process. Okay, to process. Okay, so the stateful inspection mechanism that's I just talk about. Okay, just if the if the stateful if it's disabled, okay, even if the first packet does not pass through, the subsequent packet can trigger the generation sanction as long as they pass through firewall. Okay, if it's enabled, okay, the subsequent are forwarded based on the sanction. Okay, so based on the sanction. So sanction in the sanction and the security policy in the stateful inspection firewall is very important. Okay, so this is the sanction. The sanction includes many things. Sanction, for example, source IP address. So in this sanction, the host, because host A wants to communicate with the server, so the source IP address is host A source IP address. Okay, the source port is okay 20,000. Okay, 20,000. So this one. Okay, and destination is this one. Okay, destination this one. Destination port this one. Okay, that's it. So the destination port is what is at 23. So TCP. Okay, TCP. So you can see that the application is telnet. Okay, our telnet is based on the TCP protocol, and the port is 23. So this session will come like this. Okay, come like this. Also, this is a server client. Okay, server client. If the server client wants to communicate with the server wants to communicate with the client, so the session table will be the opposite one. Yeah, will be the opposite one. Source will be the server, and the destination will be the client. Okay, destination. So there were something. Okay, into the session includes what IP address. Okay, port, protocol, user, application. Okay, 5 things. Okay, IP address, port, protocol, user, and application. Okay, application. Okay, so this is the CLI. Okay, CLI. Just you do the configuration. How to have a brief of the how you want to know what the firewall sanction table is. The command is the display firewall sanction table. Okay, display firewall. Later we will show you the practice. Okay, okay. So the command is display firewall sanction table. Okay. Okay, so about this, we talk about that firewall security policy matching principle. Okay, it matches from the up to the down, of up to the down. If all is not matched, where the action is default policy is denied. Okay, the action of default policy is denied. Okay, And when you configure the security policy, you can configure these things. Okay, for the first one is the conditions. The conditions is there where you can configure the south zone, the destination zone. Okay, the south address, the destination address, the user, the service, the application, the schedule. You can also configure these okay parameters. And the action, okay, only two actions: to permit or deny. Okay, if it is denied, you can choose that either will send a response packet, send or not send. For example, okay, if the TCP, okay, as for TCP, if you think that the TCP is denied, you can send the TCP reply to, so this called the response packet, or you can choose to not send. Okay, this depends on your requirements. Okay, and for profile, okay, this profile is based on the permit. The deny don't have the profile. Okay, the deny don't have the profile. Okay, if the action is permit, either way to go to this way. Okay, the profile. This is for the filtering. It's for the application. You can see that is for application. Wait. Okay, mail. Okay, the file, the antivirus, the URL. This is for application. Okay, so this is the security policies. Okay, this comes a packet. Okay, security policy 1 and policy 2. Okay, if deny, okay, don't let it go, and permit, let it go. Okay, let it go. Okay, this so before that is for configured in the CLI, and this is configured is for the security zone on the web. Okay, web. So you know that the USG's configuration, we have two ways. The first is for the network, that's the CLI, the command line. Okay, and the other is a web one. Okay, so these two ways to configure the firewall configuration. The difference is that this web UI, the configuration is more popular for the for example for the not so deeply for the network knowledge of the person. Okay, if you are very skillful, okay, skillful, and you or you are the network engineer. Okay, you also mostly you use the CLI to do the configuration. Okay, you use CLI to do the configuration. Okay, as for the web UI to configure this security policy, security zone, there comes to the step. Okay, step. Just you can follow the step by step. Oh, it's okay. For example, you choose network and then you choose zone. Okay, then you can configure the zone. Okay, configure the zone. You can give a zone name, just give a zone name. Okay, and priority you can set it, or you can get a description. Okay, and then you can choose one of the interface, add into the add into add into add into the zone. Okay, add it into the zone. So this is configured security zone. Okay, and next is for security policy. Also, you can add, okay, add security policy. Okay, add security policy. Add security policy. Okay, and security policy is just we can choose the south zone, destination zone. Okay, south IP address, destination IP address, user, service, application, schedule. Just the conditions that we talk about. Yes, yes, that's the condition that we talk about. And the action you can choose to okay, deny or permit. Okay, and if it's denied, don't have the profile. Okay, and if it's permit, you can choose a profile. Okay, and there was a heat. Heat means that if you have already configured a security policy, okay, and if a data flow, okay, match this security policy, it will to add one heat. Okay, it will add one heat. So means that this heat can check that if your security policy is configured correct or not correct, because that if you configure policy is correct, so there was data flow comes to our firewall, it will match your secure policy. So you can to look at this part to check that if it's right or wrong. Okay, and there was enable. Okay, enable. If you give it enable, and it will use. Okay, and if you is not enable, okay, it just means that is forbidden, is not useful, being not useful. Okay, so and if you configured the security policies, okay, if you think that your configure is wrong, you can also add it to modify it. Okay, it is added means that you can modify your security policy. Okay, you can modify your security policy. Okay, so this is the parameters in the security policy. Okay, and to set the IP address, okay, this is to set IP address. IP address, you can just object, use the address to set IP address. Okay. Okay, just this, you can, because you have ordered the lecture, so this you can just step by step. Okay, have told you step by step. Okay. Okay, the security. Okay, the security policy configuration process. This is because you just you know that what you need to configure, but the process or in other words, what's the order? Okay, what's the order to configure the security policies? Okay, the first you need to configure the security zone. Okay, security zone. And then you need to configure the interface, okay, step by step. This is order, okay. And then to configure the user and authentication. If you are not, you have no user or no authentication, you can, okay, to pass this step, okay. And then you need to configure objects, okay. Objects can include these things, okay. Object include these things, and then create files. If you need to check that the antivirus, you need to check the file, you need to check the mail, okay. You need to configure the create files, and then to create a security policy, okay, and then create a secure policy. This is the parameters of the security policy. Yes. So that means that if you wanted to create a security policy, firstly you need to create the parameters of the parameters in the security policies. Okay, if all the parameters has been configured, then you can configure the security policy. Okay, so this is the process. Okay, this is the CLI. Okay, to configure the security policy, and we will check that later. Okay, check later.
Excuse me, I have an query.
Yeah.
Yes, when we basically talk about IAM, does Huawei Firewall supports Internet Access Management or not?
When I talk about what?
Internet Access Management, IAM.
IAM.
Yes, Internet Access Management
IAM.
means to restrict, yes, to manage the rights and the bandwidth for the user to access the Internet services or the services of your organization. Does Huawei Firewall supports it or not?
Not.
No. Okay. Please carry on. If I think it's sports, then we can identify policy or not. Okay, no problem.
Okay, so let's carry on. Okay, carry on. This is the configuration we'll do later. So I just not to talk about it. Okay, and the next is about the ASPF. Okay, ASPF. So the ASPF is for multiple channel protocol technology. So example is the FTP. Okay, example is FTP. Because in the FTP we have 20 and 21. Okay, 20 and 21. Okay. FTP mode. If there was a multiple channels, so how can our security policies do specifically to do the filter? And in the passive mode, it not the 20 and 21 is a random port. Okay, it's a random port. So when the port is a random port, how can do the specific filtering? Okay, specific filtering. So this comes to our ASPF. Okay, ASPF, the whole name is application specific packet filter. Okay, ASPF as an advanced filtering technology checks application layer, protocol information and monitors status connected application layer protocol. For all connections and specified application protocol, ASPF maintains status information and dynamically determines whether the permit data packet is passed through the firewalls or discard the data packets. Okay, so this is the function, of the ASPF. The function of ASPF. Okay, if the session table is when the ASPF comes to when we implement the ASPF, when we implement CAT, when the session table is established, we need other concepts. We call it server map. Okay, server map. So what is server map? Server map is that if it to establish a server map, it don't in this scenario. I just say in this scenario, it will want to check that security policy. It don't check the security policy. Just means that if you match the server map, the action is permit. Is permit. And don't you check the security policy. Don't you check the security policy. You can see that server map table is if there was we open this functions ASPF, there was server map table. And server map table is for FTP. Yes, it's for FTP. So that means that if the host A, even if it use the passive mode of FTP, it also can to do the specific filtering. It also can let it go. Let it go. So this is a server map. So server maps. So you need to you don't need to very deeply in this IA course. We also talk about very deeply this server map in IP course. IP course. In IA course, you just know the server maps function. The function is what is to if you to establish this. Establish this server map. You don't want to check. You want to check that security policy. And as for ASPF, this technology, it will to create a server map. As for the ASPF technology, it will create a server map and use this server map to specific filter the data flow. So this is a server map. And for server map, so ASPF is one of the technology can create server map, and others also can create server map. For example, the static server map entry is generated when the NAT server. When you talk about NAT server, it also can create the server map. For Notepad, you can create the server map. Also the MSN, the TFTP. This triple server map. Also can create server map. So many examples to create server map. ASPF is just one of the ways to create server map. Then this slide is for the and this slide is for to support the multiple channel protocols by this port identification. You can set an ACL. ACL means that access this control. We just use IP address I just told. Use IP address to do the port identification, and based on this ACL to do the authentication. It's if you need to do the port identification. Use this command and add an ACL. Firstly, you need to create ACL. I'll add it in this and it will do it. So this is for the this is for our security security policy. And after we do this, then we need to know about the Okay, the network address translation. Okay, network address translation. So this is that's our main course about today, and for the lab also because when we to implement this network address translation, we need to know some basic something. For example, the security policy, the firewall zone. So I just have a glance to lead you to know about that PowerPoint. Okay, but focus on this. But focus on this one. Okay, focus on this one. Um, and the network address translation. Okay, so this is very you are very familiar with. Okay, so why we need NAT? Okay, this is forward. Okay, NAT address translation translates an IP address carried in the header or an IPv4 packet into another IP address. So this is a function. Okay, so this is function. Okay, so this is a function. And generally, NAT is used to translate private IP address into public one. Okay, private into public one, so that the device can communicate across the public and private and public networks. Okay, and this is objectives. Okay, understand how NAT works. Okay, configuration. Okay, configuration and the principles. Okay, principles. Why we need NAT? Okay, why we need NAT? Uh, in this is the background, okay, for the most important one, okay, IP version 4 address are depleted, okay, depleted, okay, and IP video cannot committally replace IP version 4, okay. Also, okay, technologies to mitigate IP version 4 is exhaustion, okay. So when we talk about NAT, so we need to talk about the private IP address. So what's the private IP address? Okay, in routing and switching, we learned about this. There was a class. Okay, class. We divided the IP address into class A. Okay, class B, and class C. Okay, class C. Okay, class A. Private IP address it was 10. Okay, you know that 10.0.0.0. Okay, to 10.255. Okay, this one. Okay, and class B is private address is 172. 2016, okay, .0.0 to 172 .16 .31, okay, .31, okay, and class C is for 192.168, okay, .0.0 to 255, okay. So this is the private IP address we need to know, okay, when we learn about the NAT, okay. So when we implement NAT, so what's the advantages? Okay, the first one is the IP addresses can be reused because we use the private IP address. So IP address can be reused. Okay, and the address translation process is transparent to the users. Okay, transparent to users. So if we users want to, uh, even if you give a private IP address, but it also can to access the internet. Okay, normally it counts to is for transparent for users. Okay, and also okay, privacy protection if available for uh, internal users, because that's if an internet user wants to know the real IP address of the internal user, it can't be known because we use the NAT to do the translation. Okay. And the next is for load balancing among internal servers is available. Okay, because we can use NAT. We can use the manning. Okay, manning internal servers to do the NAT to one IP address, so it can do the load balancing. Okay, load balancing. Okay, and the disadvantages is network monitor is more difficult because you don't know the real IP address. So network monitor it will be more difficult, and some applications are restricted because there were some applications it associated with the NAT. It has some limitation. Okay, it has some limitation. Okay, so this is the so the basic principle, okay, to do the NAT, okay, is to do the translation to the source, private to the, okay, so private to the global, okay, global. And for NAT categories, okay, we know there's two NATs, okay. One we call source NAT, and other we call it destination NAT, or we call it NAT server, okay, NAT server. And for the source NAT, we use the address pool or the outbound interface, okay. And for destination NATs, we use the NAT server, okay, use the NAT server. As for source NAT, so what is source NAT? There were some different mode about the address pool. Okay, address pool means that, okay, you can see that there was a source address 192.168.0.11, okay, 11, and there was, if we create a pool, okay, if we create a pool, it has three IP address, okay, three IP address. So if it is 1.1 comes to the packets and it will translate it .1. If it's 1.2, it will translate it .2. If 1.3, it will translate it into .3. But if it comes to 1.4, it will discard. So why will discard? Because in our address pool, this is the address pool. Okay, in the address pool, we only have three IP address. We not do the port translation. We just do the NAT IP address translation. Okay, so we only have three IP address. So if there was 4 PC or four personal laptop, okay, need to do the translation, and the fourth one we have to discard. Okay, so this is have some weakness. Okay, have some weakness. So we come to our this one. We not only transport this translated this IP address, or also translated the port. Okay, if there is 1.1, we translated .1. If it is 1.2, we also translated .1. If it is 1.3, we also translated .1. But the difference is that the port number is different. Okay, if it's 1.1, we translated 7111. Okay, if it's .2, we translated it 112. And if it's .3, we use it 113. Okay, so this is the second mode about this address pool. So the advantages of this is to save, okay, you can save many IP address. You can save many IP address because we only use one IP address is enough. We use different port, yeah, because the port in one IP address is very huge. So we only use one IP address and different port to classify or not classify, okay, to distinguish the different PC, okay, to distinguish different PC. You use port to distinguish different PC. Okay, so this is the second mode. We call it
Excuse me, I have
port
question from
mode.
this
Port
panel.
mode. Okay, so Oscar, no problem.
Yes, basically, how many ports we can assign against a single address for the PAT, for the port address translation, and what are
Okay,
the ranges of the?
there is huge one. It's
Normally we have
often is over 1024 port number is over 102 at this port to do the translation. Okay.
because currently we have 65,535 ports available. Okay, and some in which some ports are reserved.
Yeah, you
for
can
the
set 555.
Yes.
You can set 3555 is okay.
Yes, but how? What are the ranges
Without
of the
matter.
ports? The port
Over
address
10.
translation. Over 1024.
What are the 1024?
Okay, 10242355. Okay,
Using the
these are three
Y
ports
is
available.
over 1024. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Because that's less than 1024 is some famous port. For example, the 23 is telnet, and the 21, 20 is FTP. So we don't use this port to do translation.
Yes.
We often over.
Before 1024, they are basically reserved ports. Okay.
Okay, and oh,
Thank
okay, we continue. About the easy IP, okay, easy IP is the server mode of the Southnet. Okay, easy IP is a server mode of Southnet. So so the difference between the port mode is that this port is this one. Okay, this one. So easy IP. So focus on easy. So what is easy? Easy is that we don't need to configure the IP address. We just use the outbound interface to use the NAT translation. Okay. Okay. So in this address pool mode, this IP address you need to create. Okay, create. For example, this port maybe is 155.1.1.1, but you need to create an IP address like this to do the translation. Okay, to do the translation. This is the port mode. But in easy IP, this IP address, it can be the outbound interface, because outbound interface IP address you have already configured. Yes, so the easy, so you don't need to configure a new IP address, don't need to create a new IP address to do the translation. It used outbound interface IP address. So this is why it's called easy. Okay, why it's called easy IP. Okay, so this is easy IP. And the next is for NAT ARG. Okay, NAT ARG is, you can see that this is associated ASPF. Okay, ASPF is very similar to ASPF, but it has some small difference. You can see that in the ASPF, you can understand it like this. Okay, the ASPF in the NAT, we call it NAT ARG. Okay, NAT ARG. You can understand simply like this. Okay, simply like this. The ASPF in NAT, we call it NAT ARG. Okay, because we have many more other ASPF scenarios. The ASPF scenarios in the NAT, we call it NAT ARG. Okay, you can simply understand it like this. Okay, also to do the detect, to analyze the application. Okay, application layer. Okay, application layer data is similar to our ASPF. Okay, and this is the process. Okay, this is the process. Okay, and for the NAT server, okay, NAT server is, we call
sorry,
it
sorry. I
the
have another
destination
question.
NAT is. So
Excuse me.
what?
I have another question. If we talk about the application level gateway NAT ALG GAT, okay, let's take the example of the ping, okay, in which we have basically two IP addresses. One is a destination IP source IP address on which the ping is generated, and another source IP address is the IP address to which we want to ping. Okay, let's take the ping example and then explain the application level gateway, that how application level gateway works on a ping.
So you think that you talk? Could you please talk very slowly? Yeah.
Yes, basically, I just want to ask that ping is also an example of application level gateway, because inside the ping packet there is also an IP address.
Yeah.
Yes, if ping is an
So
example
you
of,
know that A
yes,
not used for ping. Okay, ASPF is used for the multiple channel protocols. Okay, multiple channel protocols.
so ping is not
So
an
for
example
example,
of
FTP.
application level gateway.
This is an example. So
Because
what?
yes, because inside the ping packet there is an also IP address. Okay, if you will not use the application level gateway, then this destination IP address will also be changed by your NAT.
Yeah, it also can. If you want to connect it, if you want to access the internet, it will be to do the translation. But if the ping packet is just you use for the internal network, it won't to do
No, no.
the
If you want to ping,
translate, because NAT is for to access the
yes.
internet.
Yes, if we basically want to ping some external network, okay, then they are the two destination IP
Yeah.
addresses. Okay, one, yes.
Yeah, it will do the translation. It will do the translation.
Okay.
Okay, so about next is about the NAT server. Okay, NAT server, we call it internal server. Okay, internal server. So this is for to translate it, not the source. Okay, is to translate it the destination. Okay, it's to translate here the destination. Okay, on the firewall, public address is configured to represent the server's private IP address. External users access the server through a public address. For example, if our server is 192.168.1.1, okay, but if an external user wants to access our server, external user wants to access our server, and we can't to use this IP address to give it to our external user. We need to give it a public IP address. Yes, so there was translated this server's private IP address to a public IP address to give it to external user to access. Okay, one of these is for the communication. One of these is for the communication, and the other part is to protect our server's real IP address. Okay, server's real IP address. So this is the NAT server. Okay, and NAT server, we call it that's for, and before this
Hello.
we talk about the server map. The ASPF have the server map. Also, we talked about the NAT server. Yes, can also create a server map. Okay, and this is a command that we will use it. Okay, later the practice we will use it. Okay, the NAT server. Okay, this is a command. Okay, this is a command, and there was a okay server map is like this. Server map is like this. Okay. Okay, so there comes to some typical NAT scenario. Okay, typical NAT scenario: source NAT and destination NAT. Okay, so we have to we can firstly have a rest, and then we come to our practice. Okay, our practice topology is very simple like this one. To get familiar with the firewall and for the NAT. Okay, so there was we need one firewall, and one server, and one client. Okay, it's enough. And we use this this copper to do the connection. Okay, to do the connection like this. Okay, connection like this. So have a rest. Okay, and then we will continue to do the practice. Okay, to do the practice.
Excuse me. I have a question regarding NAT.
Okay, so you can.
Yeah, my question is that you said is internal user using private IP address for accessing a server, and external user use public IP address for access that server from outside.
Yes, the external user use the public IP address to access our internal server. Yes.
If internal user want to access that public IP address, not from private IP address, it want to use access through public IP address, is it possible?
If what?
If internal user want to access server on public IP address.
Yeah, it's possible because we use the you can see that
रमजान क्या कहना चाह रहे हो?
Sir, private.
Okay, so let's check it one by one. Okay, so when we do the NAT server, we are like this. Okay, firstly we set a global IP address, and this is for internal server's IP address. So that means that if this global IP address is to give it to the external user. Okay, if the external user to access this IP address, okay, and when the firewall receive this packet, find that it wants to access this IP address, it will translate it, the packets into the real server. So this can successfully to access. Okay.
Okay. But if internal user, let's suppose I am inside of my network. Okay. I'm using private IP addresses. My IP address is also use NAT process. But
If your user,
from outside.
if the user is in your internal network, it just can use this internal IP address to access. It doesn't matter. Okay, it also can access. Okay, this is for the external, and this is for the internal user can use this one. Okay.
Basically, Ramzan, and please wait for, sir. Basically, I want to interrupt that. Ramzan asked that what is the basically process if the server will be accessed from any network if server is hosted in your private network. The purpose of internal NAT, we can also NAT, basically we can also call server map table is the internal NAT. The purpose of internal NAT as that if we will basically place our server on a global network, okay, and some basically people who want to access our server from outside the network. So some hackers basically deployed some scanner to always scan some public IP addresses. If we would directly host our server globe on a public IP address, it may be a very good chance for the hackers to hack our servers, because our server will be placed on a public IP address and will be vulnerable and accessible for the hackers. So it's right way to basically place our server behind our firewalls. Okay, and we will basically, and we also want to protect our server from NAT, because NAT is basically a tool through which we can save our public IP addresses, and we can also protect our network, because after NAT the hacker cannot know the basically internal IP addresses. So that's why we place our servers behind our firewalls and place our servers on some private IP address. But problem is that when we basically give a private IP address to any server, the internet user cannot access our servers. So for this, we use the internal NAT feature. Okay, by using internal NAT feature, we basically give the IP address of our firewall or some public IP address of our network, and we also specify some port number. Okay, against the public IP address. So when the user will basically give the public IP address with the specific port number, and we will also tell our firewall that when any reply or any request will come from this public IP address with specific port, then you will translate this request into my private network. So by using this feature, we can also place our server behind our firewall in the internal network. Okay, and for the user, for the external user, we will give the IP address of our firewall. So internal NAT is the feature through which we can protect our server, which can be accessible from the external globe. So this is basically the feature of internal NAT. Is there any problem?
Yeah, thank you. It's clear now.
Okay. Okay, sir. Sir, can you
please carry on? Okay, so we were to do the practice to help you to understand the NAT technology. Okay, so firstly you have a rest, and then about 10 minutes, I lead you to do the practice to help you understand this technology. Okay, so everyone, we're going to start our practice. Okay, first we need the is okay, one firewall, one server, and one client. Okay, it's for we do the firstly some basic configuration, and then we do the this net part. Okay. Okay, firstly, okay, when we do connection like this, connection is like this, we open these three devices. Okay, open these three devices. Okay, I give example. Okay, if this IP address is 1.1.1.100. Okay, and for this one 1.1.1.1. Okay, to focus on IP address. Okay, IP address is 1.1.2 1.2.1. Okay, and this one. Okay, 1.1.2.100. Okay, so this is I just do the architecture like this. Okay, so this is IP address like this, and the subnet mask is 24. Okay, 24. So firstly, we configure this server. Okay, this server 2. Okay, remember this server 2. So there's 110.1.1.100. Okay, so configure like this one, and choose this one. Okay, choose this. Save. Okay, save. Also client. Okay, also client. 110.1.2.100. Okay, 10.1.2.200. Also, okay, this save. Okay, save. Okay, and check it again. Okay, check it again. Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. So okay, this comes to our firewall. Okay, firewall, the most important part, firewall. Okay, and the firewall there was a default username and password. Okay, default username is the main. Okay, and default password is the main. A is a big letter, adds 1, 2, 3. Okay, and it will ask you, you need to change or not change. Okay, not change. You choose Y. Okay, you need to change, and choose the and use new one.
Can you please repeat the password?
Okay, I will show you the. Yeah, I will show you later. Okay, I will show you later.
Okay.
Okay, so I will show you that the default. Okay, default by default. Default username. Admin. Okay, admin. And default password is admin. Okay, so this is the firewall's default username and default password. When you log in the firewall, you need to change this password. Okay, you need to change this firewall. This is the default one. Okay, the first time you enter the firewall, you need to like this. Okay. So when we need to do the configuration, okay, we need to step by step. Okay, step by step. The first one, okay, you need to configure the IP address. Okay, IP address. Okay, in the firewall there were 2 interfaces. Okay, we choose this one. Okay, interface 100.101.1.2.1. Okay, so interface G. Okay, 100. Okay, and IP address. Use this command. Okay, you can use when you choose the put the command. Okay, if you can use address. Okay, it's okay. And if you are can use this tab. Okay, to do the complete command. Okay, complete command. Okay, address IP address. Okay, 10.1.1.1, and then we need to get a subnet mask. Oh, it will say, okay, this, okay, IP address mask. Okay, you can use 24. It's okay. You can also use 255.255.255.0. All of this is okay. Okay, or you can use 24. Okay, or this is okay. Okay, this is the first IP address. Okay, and the other one. Okay, in other one, the same step. Okay, the 101. Okay, 101. 101. Okay, IP address. Okay, so we use 255.255.255. Okay, okay. Also, okay, you can when you to do this. When you to configured the IP address. Okay, you can use this command. This display. Okay, this to check that the IP address. Okay, display this. Okay, display this. Okay, display this to check the IP address is correct. Okay, it's correct. display IP address. Okay. So okay, so let's to check the step. Okay, check the step. The text. Okay, the text. Text. Step 1. Okay, configure IP address. Okay, configure IP address. So this is the first step. Okay, configure IP address. Configure IP address. Okay, after we configure IP address, we need to configure what? We need to configure firewall zone. Okay, when you need to show that the firewall zone, what firewall zone in the firewall. Okay, we can use this command, display zone. Okay, to show that this is the, you can see that in the firewall there was a local zone. Okay, and there was a trust zone, and there was an untrust zone, and there was a DMZ zone, and the different zone have different priority. Okay, different zone have different priority. For example, the local is 100, the trust is 85, the untrust is 5, the DMZ is 50. Okay, so we cause getting other text. Okay, other text. This for the zone part. Okay, zone part. You want to see. Okay, and display zone to check. Okay, to check that's the which zone we have. Okay, display zone. Okay, and we second one we need when we check this one, we need to add our interface to the zone. Okay, add our interface to the zone. And the zone you can create by yourself. You will create a new zone. For example, you will create a new zone. Or you can see this one. Okay, name. You can give a new zone. Okay, for example, okay, Huawei. Also, okay, give Huawei. Okay, and we can also give a priority. Or set priority. So sorry. Set priority. Okay, set priority. For example, the 45 is okay. Okay, and quit. You can just say display zone. There comes Huawei. Okay, Huawei. There are new zone you created. Okay, new zone you created. Huawei. Okay, so there was a. This is display zone, and you can also use the firewall zone name and what. Okay, you can choose a name. Okay, and then you can do set priority. Okay, you got what. Okay, this is the first one, and second one. Okay, also just this is the zone part. Okay, so let's for example, let me use this one. For example, this one. Okay, for this one, we use it for a trust zone. Okay, trust zone. And this one we use to untrust zone. Untrust zone. So the typical is what? Typical is that interface. First, you need to enter. Okay, firewall zone trust, because we have this trust zone. Okay, we have this trust zone. So firewall zone trust. Okay, firewall zone trust, and add interface. For example, because we need to 100 to trust zone. Yes, so 100. 100. Okay, 100 added to. So you can see that display this also. Okay, this 100. Okay, 100 into trust zone. Okay, also the same step. Okay, also the same step. Interface firewall zone. Sorry, firewall zone. Untrust. Okay, we need to add this interface 101 into untrust zone. Okay, so add interface. Okay, G101. Okay, also display this. You can see that 101 adding to untrust zone. Okay, so this comes our step is like this. Step 3, step 2. Step 2. Create zone. Okay, step 3. Add interface. Add interface into zone. Okay, so this is third step. Okay, third step. Add interface into zone. So we come to our third step. Okay, so we can set IP address. Okay, is correct. Okay, and zone, display zone. We have the zone. Okay, and the firewall zone. Trust, display this. Add our interface. Okay, also okay, interface firewall zone. Oh, so sorry, firewall zone. Untrust, display this interface in your zone. Okay, so this is for our security zone. Okay, security zone. And next we need to configure the security policy. Okay, the security policy, because we need the client 3 to, okay, because we need and so client to access FTP server. Okay, so we need that do the security policy. The south is client. Okay, so this south is the client. Okay, so south is the south is client. Okay, and destination, okay, is server. Okay, destination is server. Okay, destination is server. So security policy, like this security policy. Okay, and there was a rule. Okay, just means the first security policy. Okay, the first security policy. Security policy name rule 1. Okay, the south is what? South is south zone. Yes, south zone is what? South zone is the client zone. Yes, client is in this interface. Yeah, this interface is untrust. So south zone is untrust. And there was a destination zone. Okay, destination zone, because destination is the server. Okay, server. Okay, destination is the server. Server is in this interface. Okay, the interface is trust. Okay, this interface is trust. So destination zone is trust. Okay, and we need an action because we need it do the access. So action is permit. Okay, action permit, and because it's we need is a FTP. Okay, FTP, so service type. Service FTP. Okay, service FTP. So display this to check. Okay. Okay, so this is our security policy. Okay, this is our security policy. Okay, so this is our security policy. Okay, security policy is like this. Rule name. First thing, you need to give a rule name, and then south zone. Okay, this south zone is for this one. Okay, south zone, untrust. Okay, south zone untrust. And this because server is in the destination zone. Okay, so destination zone is trust, a destination trust. And because it's FTP server, and we choose service is FTP. Okay, FTP. And action. Okay, action is permit. Okay, action is permit. Okay, so this is This is for security policy. Okay, security policy.
I have one question. Can we also give the source address and destination address?
Yes, you can
source zone and
source
destination
address.
zone.
Yes, you can also give a source address at destination. For example, you can
for
give
example,
a source,
for example, I give only the destination address of the server. So in the destination zone,
that if you only
trust
give
zone,
the destination IP address, yes, if you not
yes.
to inform one parameter, that means that parameter is any. Okay.
Okay.
For example, in this, we don't use the source IP address. So source IP address is any. Okay. Destination IP address is any. Okay. If you don't specify one, it is any. Okay.
Okay. If I specify
So
the destination address, then it can communicate to other address as well or not in the destination zone.
So what?
For example, I give the destination address of the server. I specify one address in the destination zone. So it will also communicate to some, it can also communicate to some other addresses in the destination zone, or it will only communicate with that address.
No. If you specific destination is that specific one, I think if you need to configure other one, do not. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, security policy.
Sir, I have a question. Does it necessary to specify the service type?
Yeah. Because we just need FTP, so I use FTP. I told that this all the parameters is the specific. If you can do not configure this one, it's for any. Okay, that means all this is okay. Okay, I just do a specific one. Okay, because this app server I just configure it as a FTP server. You can do not service FTP is also okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so security policy. Okay, security policy is configured is like this.
I have one question.
And first, okay, we need to. So what?
Is there any default behavior of these rules, or we have to specify permit or deny?
Yes, the default rule. I just give the lecture. Default rule is deny. Okay, if you wanted to let it to correct success permit, you need to create a rule. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, security policy step is first one. We need to do what? We need to do create a rule. Create a rule. Okay. Second one, we need to do what? We need to configure. Okay. Parameter includes. Okay, includes includes IP address, zone, service. Okay, action. Okay, etc. Okay. Okay, if you don't configure it, it could be any. Okay, it could be any. Okay, so this is security policy. So this is step 4. Step 4. Configure security policy. Okay, configure security policy. Okay, so this is the this step. Okay, And the next, our basic configuration is done. Okay, basic configuration is done. And then we need to do what? We need to do the NAT. Okay, we need to do the NAT. The NAT, we needed to, okay, we need to the source NAT and the destination NAT. Okay, firstly, we configure the source NAT. Okay, we configure source NAT. Okay, source NAT. And source NAT we use, we need to do what? We need to configure the address group. Okay, and we need to do, okay, so about source NAT. Okay, about source NAT is like this. Okay, source NAT. NAT address group. Okay, NAT address group. For example, NAT group 1. You can see that there was you can give it any number. Okay, it's okay. Specify the name of the address group. Okay, for example, give it 1. Okay, NAT address group 1. Okay, and because that is that I need this client to do the source address, so the source. Okay, okay. So section. Okay, section is what? Section is the for example, I give the address is section 10.1.1.1.52 10.1.1.60. Okay, so this is you can configure by yourself. Okay, I just give you the example. Okay, 10.1.1. Okay, that's 10.1.1.50 to 10.1.1.60. Okay, it's okay. Okay,
sir, I have a question.
And
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, we can also use easy IP instead of this address group.
Yeah, you can also use easy IP. Yeah, you can also use IP because because we not only configure the NAT source NAT, we need to create the the NAT server. So I just give you an example. Okay, just give you an example. And that's just group 1. You can see display this. Okay, there was a section. My section I just configured. Okay, by yourself. You can configure also by yourself. Okay, section. And when you do this one, you need to have the NAT policy. Okay, NAT policy. Okay, NAT policy. Okay, that's policy. For example, rule 1. So this is the set one. You need to have the set 1. Okay, NAT policy. NAT policy. Okay, NAT policy. For example, okay, rule name. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and the source is what? Source address. Source address is what? Because we use this one. Okay, client 3. Okay, is 10.1.2.100. Okay, 10. So the source address is 10.1.2.100 or 10.0. Okay, mask is 255 is now. Okay, 255.255. 255.255.255.0. That means that this source IP address includes the client. Because client is 10.1.2.100. Okay, and in this it have 255 IP address. It includes this client C. It includes this client 3. Okay, it's enough. Okay, and we need to have the action. Okay, action. because we need to do the source net. Okay, so the source net is net source net. Okay, source net address group. Address group use what? This one we configure what? We configure the address group. Remember, we configure this one. Address group 1. So use this group 1 to set into this. Okay, so action source net address group 1. Okay, let me check. Okay, so source IP address. Okay, this one. Okay, so this is for the the source net, and then we need to this is for source net. Okay, and then we need to configure the second one. Okay, NAT server. NAT server. NAT server is just one-to-one translation. Okay, one-to-one translation. So it has only one command. Okay, it only has one command. Okay, the command is like this. We just talk. Okay, NAT server. So we have a try. Okay, NAT server. So in this scenario, so in this scenario, we NAT server. Okay, NAT server. Give it a name. Okay, FTP server. This is the name. Okay, this is the name. Just a name. You can use 1, 2, 3. Also 2, 3, 4. Okay, 3, 4, 5. Also okay. I just gave this is the name. Okay, this is the name. This is the name. Okay, specify a name. Okay, NAT server. I just give the name FTP server. Okay, you can see that there was we need to give it a protocol. Okay, protocol. Okay, protocol. Okay, because the FTP is a TCP protocol is TCP, so FTP protocol is TCP. Okay, TCP, and then you need to give a global IP address. Okay, global IP address. For example, okay, for example, global IP address is 10.1.2.4. Okay, so this is the this is a set by yourself. Okay, set by yourself, and you need to check that there was inside. Okay, inside means that the real IP address. For example, the server 2 is what 10.1.1.100. Yes, this one 10.1.1.100. So the inside is 10.1.1.100. Okay. Oh, remember there was FTP at this one. Okay, because we use FTP, so there's FTP. Okay, inside 10.1.1, 10.1.2.4, 10.1.1.100. Okay. Okay, so display this. Display NAT server. Okay, so the command is like this. Okay, firstly, NAT server. Okay, NAT server, FTP server. Okay, protocol, because the FTP is a TCP. Okay, so the protocol is TCP, and then you need to give a global IP address and inside IP address. Okay, inside IP address 100. Okay, 100, because this is the 100, 10.1.1.100. So this is 10.1.100. Okay, so this displays you. Okay, you can see that. Okay, we configure this one. Okay, configure this one. NAT server.
Okay. Sir, I have a question. Is this global address can be any random address?
Yes, you can set it by yourself. You can set it by yourself. But I set this 2 because that if we set in other one, for example, if you set 10.7.7.7, this you don't have the routing message, so you need to give it a routing. But this 10.1.2, this subnet, okay, so I don't need to give it routing messages, so it's very easily to configure. Okay, this can set by your any IP address. Okay, by yourself. Okay.
Can this address be the IP address of interface?
No, it's just set by yourself. Okay. Okay, so this is for NAT server. Okay, NAT server. So when we configure these things, okay. So we need to do, for example, okay, because this is the FTP server, okay. So this is comes to this server information. Okay, server information. Okay, server information. We need to start this server. We choose FTP server. Start this server. Choose the root. Choose the root. Okay, in my computer. Okay, start. Okay, so when we start this, then gonna be a FTP server. Okay, that's gonna be FTP server. Okay, and also okay client. Okay, client information FTP remote IP address. So this you choose what IP address? Is that 10.1.1.100? 10.1.100? Is that right?
No.
Yes.
No. It
So
will be the
because
firewall interface
translated
modem.
IP address. Yeah, we translated IP address. We translated IP address is to 10.1.100 to 10.1.2.4. Okay, this is the global IP address. So as for external user, okay, as for the external user, so the remote IP address is 10.2.4. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, the remote IP address. As for the external user, when it need to access the server, the global is the 10.1.2.4. Okay. Okay, so this is the step. Okay, step 5. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so this is a step. Okay. To review the step, let's review the step, okay. For about our whole configuration, okay, for our whole configuration, this is something you need worth mentioning. The first is that this is a requirement, okay. We need the client to access the FTP server, and the default username, okay, that is a zone, okay. Default username, default password, okay, you need to remember it. So every Huawei firewall is the same default name and default username, default password. And step 1, okay, you need to configure the IP address. Okay, configure IP address. And second, when you do the IP address, we need to create a zone. Okay, you can use this command, display zone, to check that in the firewall. So what zone in the firewall it has, okay? And then if you want to create a zone, the zone is like this. The command is like this, okay? Firewall zone name, give it a name, okay? Give it a name by itself, okay? And then set priority, okay? Remember, set priority, okay? This is the priority is set by yourself based on a requirement, okay? And after you set zone, okay, you need to add interface into zone, okay, any interface zone. Okay, so this one, okay, you add interface, okay, XXX, okay, enter zone, add interface, okay. So add interface into zone, okay, and the most important one, okay, to configure is security policy. The security policy is configured is like that. Firstly, you need to configure create a rule. Okay, create a rule, because in the security policy you can create many rules. So firstly, you create a rule, give a name, okay, give a number, give a number, Okay, give a number for, because we are the first policy. Okay, so number is give it 1. Okay, give it 1, and then we need to create a parameter. Okay, for example, okay, source address, source zone, destination address, destination zone, and service, the action. Okay, the action. Okay, and if you do not to configure the parameters, it could be any. The default would be is the default is deny any. So you must to configure the security policy. So this default policy is for the security part. Okay, it's for security part. Okay, this is for the security policy. You need to configure like that. Okay, when you configure security policy, then you need to configure what you need to configure the source net. Okay, source net. Source net because we use the address pool to configure the source net. So address pool is what? First thing you need to create a address pool. Give it a section. Give a section. Okay, give a section, and then when you give a section, then you need to create a NAT policy. Or create a NAT policy. NAT policy is in the NAT policy it has the source address. Okay, source address. Okay, this source address is in the if the client 3 wants to access the server 3 and the source address is for client 3 client 3. Okay, so this is for source NAT part, and the last part is for NAT server. NAT server. So NAT server only have one command. NAT server only have one command like this. NAT server command is like this. So you need to give first. This is a name. This is a name. So you can give it another name. This is doesn't matter. Another name. And this protocol also. XX. This because we use FTP, so we choose FTP. Also. So this is for NAT server. NAT server. This. NAT server. Global. You need to give a global IP address and give it a source IP address. Source IP address. So this is for NAT server. NAT server. Global. Protocol. Global IP address set by itself. And inside one. Inside one because this server is IP address is 10.1.1.100. So this is 10.1.1.100. And to open the server's FTP service, and the client. So this is the whole step. So give you some minutes to congest this lab. Congest this lab.
Excuse me, please share authorized link to download this software, ENSP.
Yeah, you can download in that. There was a link. There was a link. I thought this.
There is a link, but it says it is authorized only to ICT users.
Yeah, because that's for our information security. We can't for the instructor, for the assistant, we can't send this ENSP for you. If you don't have the permission, if you don't have the priority to download this ENSP, you need to ask the local manager to help you to download, give you the permission. We can't set we can't just give you the ENSP directly. If you don't have the permission, you need to ask the permission for a local manager. Okay, sorry about that. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
So review
sir,
this.
excuse me?
Review this
Yeah, I'd like to
these
ask
things.
him
Okay.
that
So
he can. Yeah. Hello.
yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm the local manager here, Sayyid Bilal Qasim. Sir, you can contact me and
Yeah.
I'll guide you about the getting the access. So I'll guide you regarding that. So I'll suggest if you can contact me now, I'll just give you the access to that through our HAL center.
Okay, that's great. Can you share your email ID, please?
Sir, my email ID, you can email on the public email. So it's pmail underscore, it's haina_pakistan@huawei.com. HAINA underscore Pakistan @huawei.com.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
or you can call me directly. My mobile number is already circulated with your boss. You can ask your boss and he can call me.
Okay. So
Okay, thank you.
okay, so after you configure these things, okay, after you configure these things, in this, this you remember, okay, this remember that the client, okay, the client's remote IP address, remember, use the global IP address, not this 10.1.1.100, okay, use this 10.1.2.4, okay, 10.1.2.4, this IP address, okay, and when you configure these things, okay, you can use this one, login, okay, login. You can see that I have login, its login is okay, and then you can log out. Okay, log out. That means that it's success. Okay, success. Okay, so this means that this practice gonna be success. Okay, so have a review it, and after some minutes, I will lead you to review it again and told you how to see some other features. For example, the session table, the server map. To do that, okay, review it. Okay, for some minutes.
I have one question.
Yeah, so.
Can we access this file through web GUI?
Okay, so the ENSP, okay. So the ENSP is GUI. If you want to use the web, you need you need a cloud. Okay, you need a cloud, and when you need a cloud, because this is a virtual machine, you know about it. If you are the physical devices, you just use the line to connection to the firewall and to a computer. It's okay, but this is a virtual machine. So if you wanted to use the web, okay, use the web, use the GUI, is a little complicated. Okay, you need to allowed, and you need a copper. Okay, set it, for example, this one. Okay, line to allowed to allowed. Okay, and you need to so you need to configure. Okay, and you need to set that there was a binding information. Okay, there was your network. You set one network to connect it to the firewall, and then you can use the web. Okay, you can use the web. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so everyone, I need to go to a washroom, so you have congestion this for some minutes, and later when I come, and we're going to to review it again. Okay. Okay, so everyone, so the whole step we just do the review. Okay, so and then we need to just do some more features about check. Okay, so in the firewall, we talk about some more features. For example, the session, the server map. Okay, so after we log in, just means that this client 3, okay, can access the server. We have when we need to know about the session. Okay, there was a command. Okay, display firewall session table. Okay, session table. Okay, there comes the session table. Okay, session table is like this. So another way to do analyze it. Okay, analyze it. So FTP. Okay, FTP. This means the protocol. Okay, this means the protocol. And the VPN. Okay, VPN. That means the VPN instance. Okay, and if we just in the normal time. Okay, normal time. This VPN instance is public to public. If we have the virtual system. Okay, virtual system. This is gonna be virtual. Okay, this is gonna be virtual. But in the normal times, this is the public to public. Okay, and this is the session table, and this because it do the NAT. Yes, it's because do NAT to translate it the 10.1.2.100 to 10.1.1.52. Okay, 52 means that it do the translation. Okay, it do the translation, and this is the destination. Okay, destination 10.1.2.4. Remember, is the NAT server's global IP address. Okay, NAT server. I said NAT server global IP address. Okay, NAT server global IP address. Okay, and because display NAT address group. Okay, because this is we choose that 50 to 60. Okay, so display firewall session table. I can see that display firewall session table. Okay, there was a 52. Okay, 52 is in the 50 to 60. Okay, it's during 50 to 60. 52 is in this range. Okay, 52 is in this range. So this is the NAT translation, and this is the destination. Okay, so this is a session table we can come to when the firewall. Okay, when the server get connection with our client, this gonna be established. Okay, this gonna be established. So this is the session table, and also we have the server map. Okay, we have the server map. Let me check. Okay, display firewall server map. Okay, display firewall server map, all system. Okay, all system, and there was comes to our server map because we said that our NAT server can create server map. Yes, NAT server can create server map. So in the NAT server, there was comes the server map. There were two server maps. Okay, two server maps. The first is the directly server map at the any to the 10.1.2.4, and this do the translation. Okay, NAT server do the translation because we use this 10.1.1.100 to 10.1.2.4. Okay, okay, and zone is any. Okay, protocol is TCP. Okay, and this is reverse. Reverse means what? Reverse means the opposite one. Okay, the opposite one. So this is gonna be the opposite. Okay, so 10.1.1.100 comes to this. Okay, and 10.1.2.4 comes to this. Means that there comes the opposite. Okay, comes to the opposite one. And so this is to any, and this is any to 10.1.2.4. Okay, so this is the opposite one. Okay, so this we have the. Let me to record it. Okay. So okay, display firewall session table and the display firewall. Server map. Okay, and after this, it can give the other parameters. Okay, so this is two command to see what the first one is to see the session table about the firewall, and the other one is to see the server map. Okay, just okay, and in the NAT server, okay, let's to go back to our NAT server. Okay, NAT server there was a display. NAT server. Okay, this is NAT server. So when we use the NAT server, there was an other parameter I need to mention about it. For example, NAT server FTP or FTP server protocol TCP global 10.1.2.4 FTP inside 10.1.1.100 FTP. Okay, there was a parameter. Okay, no reverse. Okay, no reverse. So what does no reverse mean? If we use this no reverse, that means no reverse NAT server. Okay, we can see that in the NAT server map, we have two server map. Remember, two server map. The first one is the direct one. Okay, and second one is the reverse one, the opposite one. Okay, the opposite one. When we use this no reverse parameters, that means we only have one server map. Okay, we only have one server map. That means this no server map is going to be clear. Okay, you only have one server map. So why we need this no reverse parameters? Okay, there comes no reverse. Okay, no reverse. Why we need no reverse? Because for the normal time, as for server, okay, as for server in our internal, as for internal server, okay, internal server, as for internal server, we don't need server to access internet actively. Okay, actively just means that when the client to access our server can give the reply. This is no problem. But server do not need to actively to access the client. This is we don't need to. We just have only one server map is enough. Just this client to server, and the server then give a reply. Okay, server don't need to access the internet actively. Okay. Okay. That's gone to passive to do the reply is enough. Okay, server to passive to reply is enough. So this is a no reverse parameter. Okay, no reverse parameter. Okay, so this is for our some features, some small features about our this lab. Okay, small features about this lab. So you need to remember. So in this lab, so what we need to master. The first one, we need to know about how to log in. Okay, how to log in. Okay, first one, master what? Master or grasp. Okay, so first one, how to log in. Log in the firewall. Okay, this is the first one. And second one, okay, how to configure the IP address. Okay, how to configure the zone, the security policy. Okay, fourth, how to configure NAT and then know about the features, how to show the session table. Okay, server map. Server map. Okay, features. Okay, so this is our lab you need to master. Okay, first, how to log in the firewall. Okay, how to change, modify the password. Okay, second, how to configure the IP address. Okay, how to configure the zone security policy, how to configure NAT, how to show the session table. Okay, server map, and some features about our NAT. Okay, so this is that we need to consider about it. And the whole step, okay, you need to review it after the class. You need to review it. Okay, this step is very important. Okay, I just take many notes for you. Okay, and we also have to record the video. Okay, record the video. If you are not very clear about it, you can see the video to how to do the configuration. Okay, how to do the configuration. Okay, this is our first today's lab. Okay, and tomorrow, okay, I need to mention, okay, tomorrow we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the hot standby. Okay, hot standby.
Excuse me, sir. I have a suggestion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Please, can you do the labs on the GUI, because in the industry as well as most documentation, we have example in GUI based web UI interface. So
what?
Yes, if you will do the labs on web UI interface instead of CLI mode, because in industry as well as most of the people use the firewall by using a user web UI interface, GUI interface. So first practice you will that student will be now that how they can connect the firewall with the simulator to use the GUI and web interface. Okay, and after that we will basically perform the labs on the web interface. So I think this will be quite interesting and it is
so
very easy.
I think basically, if you wanted to use I told you the information about how to use the web, but the web is more easily to the command line, and if the web the operation of the web is just in the lecture, it show you very clearly. It's just the step by step is enough. Okay, the step by step, just no other things, more features. And because that in the CLI, you can see if you are more understand the CLI's configuration, you can easily to do the web. But if I told the web configuration, you don't know how to configure in the CLI. So this is the CLI could be the more higher level. I just told you. So you can, if you understand the CLI, so you can easily to understand web. Okay. Or if you or you know, okay, by the way, if you wanted to use the web, okay, I recommend you to use a physical device to do the web. It has more, okay, it could be the more improve your experience about the configuration, improve your experience of, because this ENSP is used, the web is not so convenient. Okay.
Yes, yes. It hangs sometime, it shows some features
Okay.
sometime.
So, okay, so about tomorrow, we need to know about the hot standby and the dual system. Okay, dual system. Okay, and before tomorrow, I need to tell you some. You need to give to preview tomorrow's the lecture and the lab. Okay, so the tomorrow's topology is like this. I just told you tomorrow. Tomorrow's topology is like this. So if you are interested about it, you can have a try before tomorrow's class. Okay, tomorrow's topology like this one. Okay. And tomorrow we will use 2 firewalls. Okay, tomorrow we will two firewalls. Do the hot and standby. Okay, hot and standby. So tomorrow, this is the tomorrow's topology. Okay. How to before tomorrow's class, you need to know how to do the configuration. Okay, how do you do the configuration about the hot and standby and what's the features? Have a preview. So tomorrow's course you will be more easily to understand. And because each day we give only one skill point. Okay, skill point. I hope you can deeply understand this, and when you after the course, when you teach your students, okay, you can tell them more simply and let them know more deeply. Okay, so today we focused on the basic configuration about firewall and the NAT. Okay, and tomorrow we focus on this one. Okay, hot and standby dual system. Okay, so if there are no other questions, okay, today's course is ended. Okay, and after the course, I'll review this one. Okay, yeah.
Okay, I want to know about twice NAT. Will we also do the lab of twice NAT?
Twice NAT. Yeah. Yes, so this course I just do the twice NAT. Okay, twice NAT means source NAT add NAT server. Twice NAT as just means source NAT as server. Source NAT is for what? Source NAT is for to translate the client. Okay, and NAT server is for what? Is for to translate the server. Okay, I mean source NAT is to translate the source, and the NAT server is to translate the destination. And when you implement these two source NAT and the NAT server, we call it twice NAT. Okay. Okay. Fine. So this is okay. So this notes I give you is very important and help you to understand deeply about NAT. Okay. You can have to take pictures. Okay, take pictures, or if you after the class you can to listen this lab again. Okay, we have record videos. Okay, to help you to deeply understand this one. Okay. Okay, and this tomorrow's topology. Okay, if you don't have any other questions, okay, thanks for listening my course. Okay, today, and have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.